On this episode of 419 by Design, we'll be visiting the incredible Toledo Twisted Iron.
My name is Dane Turpening. I'm the owner and founder of Toledo Twisted Iron. This is my shop. This is where I do all my metalworking. I've been doing this for about over 13 years, 14, actually probably longer than that, almost 18 years. Just the way I started into this was just started in machining, a machine shop, and then went from there, worked in the factory for 12 and a half years. So when you get into metalworking like I've done, it's just about attention to detail and craftsmanship and just pushing yourself to the limit on that. At Toledo Twisted Iron, I started about 8 years ago now, and where it all started was at the Toledo Museum of Art, and I started taking blacksmithing classes there, and it just pretty much tied all my skill sets together over the years. I don't have an art degree, but my family has a pretty big art background. They're all pretty artistic in their own way, and on top of it, my family also has an engineering background. So basically, I'm half artist, half engineer, and I tied both of them together, and that's where I'm doing what I'm doing today, and working hard at it, making things happen. Yeah, starting Toledo Twisted Iron, I started calling customers and companies and just trying to figure out where to go, and it's still a battle every day. But I found that in the city of Toledo alone, though, these companies are really willing to work with smaller businesses and finding people with unique traits, and it's really kind of cool that companies in Toledo, especially big entities, they're all looking for that local, unique, cool stuff. So that's pretty cool. All right, today I'm going to be teaching you how to create a leaf hook. There's techniques in the leaf hook that show the basics of blacksmithing, and a lot of blacksmiths, when they go to teach somebody, this is the first thing they teach you in order to show you the different techniques and standard techniques of what blacksmiths use to forge the metal. So the start of the leaf hook is going to be tapering, and we're going to taper the hook to a point, and then we're going to put a notch in it. And then what the other part is then we're going to draw out from that notch, and we're going to create like a stem, or like the stem of the leaf. And then when that's all finished, what we're going to do is creating a blank, and then we're going to make the blank into a leaf. And then after that, that's when you create the hook. So I'm just going to start the process. All right. Now you see I only do two sides, and the reason why is because I want the metal to, when I come down on this way, when I do the leaf, I want the metal to flatten out this way, and that's why you do two sides. Sometimes it takes maybe a couple minutes, sometimes it takes 5 minutes, depending on the size of the piece and what you're heating. For this, it's probably a couple minutes, and then it's heated up, ready to roll. Cool. So now we're going to get into notching and tapering of the stem. So I have my two sides here like this. What I want to do is put a notch on this side. And what the notch does, it just shows me where this is the side that goes down to the anvil when I'm pounding out the leaf. So now I just want to start notching, tapering this down. When it starts usually getting to a dull red, you want to put it back in and heat it, because the colder it gets, the harder it is to work. So standard material for practicing on is usually 3/8 by 3/8 square. So what we're going to do in order to move the material faster, we're going to use the power hammer. Okay, so the next process of making the leaf, we're gonna shape the leaf. You see we created the blank for the leaf. Now it's about making it look like a leaf. So now what I'm gonna do is pull this out of the forge and then start to flatten it and shape the leaf into a leaf. So remember the notch that I had here that I put in? That always faces up. So the two angled sides that I put on here faces down. So when you go to hit the top of this leaf, it spreads out. That's one side. All right. Now get the other side fanned out here. As you see, I'm using the hammer, the edges of the hammer to help move the metal easier. There's a lot of times I'm not just hammering straight down. So one other thing with this getting thin, the anvil acts as a heat sink, as well as the thinner you get with the metal, the faster it cools. So your working time is a lot less. The heat's being drawn out of the metal, it's going straight into the anvil as fast as possible. Now that we got the shape of our leaf, we're gonna go into texturing. And then after that, it's gonna be we're gonna fold the leaf.
Welcome back. Let's return to this leaf hook project with Dane Turpinning from Toledo Twisted Iron.
So next process is we're going to texture the leaf. And blacksmiths use all sorts of different types of hammers for texturing. This right here is called a riveting hammer, but I'm going to use it to put the veins of the leaf into the veins into the leaf. But we also use flatteners, cross peens, ball peens, you name it. So anything to get like a really cool texture for the project you're working on. There's texture for your leaf. The other things that blacksmiths use to help form and shape metal is called hardy tools. This right now is just like a V-wedge that I need in order to get the leaf to start folding the way I want it to fold. So basically this helps create a controlled fold that we need in order to bend the leaf over and fold it over properly. We've also used there's also holders that you can put in here that have like a spring holder, like a fuller was what they call it, spring fuller, and it'll hold down your parts so you can hammer on them if you don't have somebody else to hold it. So there's all sorts of different tools of what this hardy hole can do for you. So now we're gonna fold the leaf, and we're gonna be using the Hardy tool, the wedge here, in order to fold the leaf properly, so we can reopen it back up to make it look like a leaf. So right now I'm creating the vein for the leaf. So I'm hammering it down pretty hard, and then the next process is to open the leaf back up. So now we're in the process of opening the leaf back up. What we're going to use is a chisel here to like help get into the leaf, so we can actually pry the leaf open and get the pry open. That's how it's pried open there. And back in one more heat, and we should be able to pry it all the way open. Here we go. You always want to be careful when you're cutting, because what could happen, it'll shoot right off if you're not careful. Okay, now it's about turning this thing around. Okay, there's the hook. Now I'm going to twist it. So,
After Dane creates the hook part, it's time to put the twist in Toledo twisted iron.
okay, straighten her out. Good to go there. So final process is to form the leaf out, kind of give it some character. So tighten that up there. And I'm using a pair of what they call scrolling pliers, which has no teeth on it, so you don't mar up your project when you're working on it. Sometimes you can give it a little double loop, or however you want to do it. Well, let's go for a double loop. Give it a look, make it look cooler. There you go.